Hello! Welcome to a very important video for the channel. Normally I don't do these kinds of videos, mainly because I'm not that comfortable giving professional advice. This is mainly a writing advice channel. This is a place where you can come and get all of your writing needs seen to. And I play some video games in here every now and again as well. But I've had so many questions from people pertaining to and just double check one thing actually before we start. That everything's okay on the old. Yeah, it is. It's all good. Just checking all these sound levels are all right. I've gotten so many questions about applying to Games Workshop and what it means and what you should and shouldn't do when applying. This is going to be a two-part video. Okay. The first part will be how to apply to Games Workshop. What are they looking for? When you go on the website and you are... Well, we'll take you through the process step by step. So when you go on the website, so right up until you do your interview, right up until you get offered the job. That's what we're going to look at. So, applying to Games Workshop, okay? What should your letter say? What should your opening salvo, your communication with this company that you've had such a bond with in your own head throughout your entire life, what should it say? It's a big moment. So the CV. I'm going to level with you. The CV is not that important to Games Workshop. They don't really care. They don't really care what you've done. They don't really care. I mean, they'll be impressed if you have a degree. They'll be impressed if you've had lots of retail experience. But try not to put too much on because you don't want to seem like you've been job hopping for all this time. So generally, the general CV advice applies here as well. So make it look like you have a nice coherent job history if you can. But again, Games Workshop do not really look at the CV. What Games Workshop are looking for is a nice piece of human putty that they can mould into whatever they like. That's what they're looking for. As long as you have the right attitude, which we'll cover in a minute, your CV is not that important. But if you're going to put your CV, and you should put your CV, on any application you send to Games Workshop, your curriculum vitae, your CV should cover any retail experience you have, even if you have to make it up. So if you were at Tesco for 2 weeks and then you left to go to university, or you left because you hated it, put that you were there for a month or two, and say why you left. Say, oh, I left because I wanted to go to university. I left because, I had other commitments. I left because of this or that or the other. Never say you were sacked, ever. And never say that you walked out, ever. Which is probably the case with a retail job, because they're all horrible. But GW are not going to call Tesco to see if you worked there for a few months, like you said in your CV. It's not going to happen. Nearly everybody that I knew at Games Workshop lied on their CV for like 90% of it. If you have no retail experience, don't worry, okay? Any customer-facing job in which you were pleasant to be around will do. So if you were in bar work, if you were working at a restaurant, if you were anything where you are facing customers, even if that's like online or whatever, you still counts. Just put it in the CV. Number 3, if you don't have that, just be honest. Okay, have a CV with a few embellishments, sure, like I just said before. If the Tesco thing, but realise that you are not relying on your CV for this job. Just make sure that your CV doesn't make you look like a nut job who jumps around different jobs all the time, and you'll be fine. Okay, we're not looking at the CV. The CV is a component that just lets Games Workshop know, hey, what have you been doing the past couple of years? That's all it does, okay? So again, make sure you look like you're not a psychopath. If you've been in university, say that, but say all the things that you've done in university on your CV, yeah? All the societies you're involved with. Overemphasize that. If you were just at the university society, say you ran the damn thing. Who cares? They're not going to call up bloody John Moores University in Liverpool and say, oh, was Johnny Bloggs there for 4 years and was he the leader of the flashy scarf society? They're not going to say that. Just embellish as much as you have to. Make yourself sound like your best self, because you're a really cool person. But putting things on CVs is very dry. Embellish. Be as honest as you can, but embellish. Okay. Most important thing. Okay, and this is what we're going to spend 90% of this video on, is the cover letter, because the cover letter is your key to working Games Workshop. Cover letter is the most important component of any communication you will ever have with this company, and that means even if I was told this by the head of retail, right, head of British retail, the most important thing he ever wrote to Games Workshop was the cover letter, because even the managing director of the company of Games Workshop has to write a covering letter, just like you do. And I love that about the company. Just like you, if a guy wants to be the CEO of the entire damn company, he has to write a cover letter just like yours. And when I say just like yours, almost identical. They're asked the same questions, they're told to write the same things. You know, that's what that's the kind of company Games Workshop is. They want to know about you. Okay? So, the cover letter. This is the meat and potatoes, okay? This is what will get you your interview. The most important thing, if you take nothing else away from this session, the most important thing, Games Workshop needs to understand that you understand that Games Workshop is a business and you want to help it grow. That's it. Games Workshop, even if you have to get this written on your desk somewhere, Games Workshop is a business, you want to help it grow. Right? They need to understand that you know how to do that. Games Workshop is a company that needs more customers coming in to help it succeed. It is a niche hobby, and Games Workshop need to understand that you realise that it's a niche hobby. It's not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. Okay? They love that saying. Games Workshop adore that saying. They adore the saying, hey, our hobby isn't for everyone, and that's okay. Right? Put that in there somewhere. Say, Games Workshop, Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, they are niche hobbies. They're not, and they will always lose customers because they're niche hobbies. So you need to be the guy or the girl who's going to go into that store, work there, and you need to be the person who brings in the customers. Now remember the analogy that I said a few episodes ago on this topic, and that is the very thing that was given to me. Don't use this in your cover letter because it'll be too obvious that someone's told you. But in the actual manual for Games Workshop managers, they are shown a bucket, right? And that bucket has several holes in the bottom of it and a tap at the top. The water is representing the revenue and customers that are coming into the hobby. But all the holes in the bottom of it, because it's a niche hobby, all the holes are, all these people, a lot of people are escaping all the time. You need to make sure that that faucet, that tap, is turned on as high as it can go to make sure that the hobby doesn't die. Because what Games Workshop understand is people are leaving, you're hemorrhaging customers all the time. You need to be the person in there who's going to fill up that bucket. Okay? Because, relate this back to the start, Games Workshop is a business and you want to help it grow. Okay? Now we got that out the way. Let's learn about you. You want to learn. You're willing and able to do so with a smile on your face. Alright? That's tapping into the Games Workshop. They love having people in there that they can mould into being amazing people in the company. It works both ways, right? Say you're a person who is a geek, a nerd, because obviously you are, you're into Games Workshop. You're a geek and you're a nerd. And you've just come out of university or you've not figured out what you want to do with your life and you apply to be Games Workshop. They love taking people who are maladjusted, people who are geeks, who are nerds, who have beards, who have chains on their jeans still, Doc Martens. They love taking those people and making them really productive members of their company. That's what they love to do. So you need to say that you're willing to learn. You need to say that you're willing to do so with a smile on your face, okay? Say that you're hungry to learn how Games Workshop does things. You're hungry to learn what they do. Like how does it work? You're more interested in behind the scenes than you are in even painting the models. Yeah? You want to learn. And you want to learn because of something that's going to happen later on. But you want to learn because you want to help Games Workshop, because you understand Games Workshop is a business and you want to help it grow. Okay? Next, you are punctual, very important, professional, very important, and driven person with a can-do personality. Now, that piece there, that one sentence there, that's what every job in the world wants you to have. Punctual, professional, and a driven person with a can-do personality. No problem, sir. I can do that. I can get out there and do that. No problem. Yes, sir. I can do that. Bear in mind, they don't need to know that you're a person with depression who has contemplated suicide 12 times in the last 18 months. They don't need to know that, okay? Don't put anything like that in. Don't put how it's helped you with your depression or anything like that. Don't, because people do discriminate in this world. They shouldn't do, but they do, okay? So as far as they're concerned, you're a punctual, professional person with a driven personality with a can-do personality. You can get out there, you can do what you want, you can really give it your all, okay? Because we know once you get in the job, you're going to be just fine. You're going to hit the ground running, and you're going to be fine, all right? But they need to know that as well. Okay, after all that's been covered, after you've made sure that your covering letter does all of this in the 1,000 words you're given to do, now, and only now, talk about your hobby, what you love about Games Workshop, and what it has done for your own life, and why you want to join them. Why do you want to help them grow? Why do you want to help the business? Yeah? A really good thing to say here is that Games Workshop's helped you through some really difficult times. You don't need to put depression in there, whatever. Just, it's helped you through some really difficult times. It's helped you become a better person by learning how to talk to others, how to work with others. You've met so many amazing friends, you've had so many amazing times through the hobby, and you want to give back. You want to get in that company, and you want to give back, and you want to be the guy who's like, yeah, you know, I want to help. I want to help you grow. And I've discovered this is what I want to do for the rest of my working life. They'll snap you up like they're a diabetic and you're made of insulin. Trust me, they will be like, yes, that's the person. That's the person we want. Okay? Always say you want a career at Games Workshop. Never, ever, 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 ever treat this as another retail job. You want to manage one day. Very important, because they love putting people in the management pipeline. You know, they love taking people who started and saying, look where they are now. I actually had someone come into my store from Games Workshop, one of our trainers, with a new manager and say, hey, this is this guy. He's now managing this store. He started in this other store as what you're going to start as, and now he's going to be now he's managing his own store. Look at him. Look at it. You know, look at him. Look at how he's crying. No, I'm only joking, but you know, look at him. He's miserable. No, I'm only kidding. But always say you want a career at Games Workshop. Never treat it like another retail job. You want to manage one day, all right? And stay at Games Workshop for as long as you can. And I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. If you can, get a job at Games Workshop as a manager, and you get a really good store with a really good group of people behind you. You get a store that's not really, you know, expecting great things, not expecting you to turn it around within a couple of weeks. You know, if you can get in like that, this is a job you'll want to keep for the rest of your life. You're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. The money's not great, but the happiness factor is substantial, and that's why the money's not great. So, that's it. That's all I have to say. That is the covering letter. Okay? And obviously, check your punctuation. I am always available to do that. I do charge for that these days. £10. I charge £10 for every 1,000 words I look over. I'm always available to look over covering letters. I'm always available to check your grammar, check your spelling, check your terms of phrase, make sure all these points are hit. Because if you hit all these points, you will get an interview at Games Workshop. Because this is what I did. This is exactly what I did. I not only got an interview, but I then became a manager on this technique. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully it helped you. And I'll speak to you next time. Oh, and the next video will be about the interview itself. So, make sure you stay tuned for that.